All right. Let's talk about the game of the weekend. France versus England. Everyone was waiting for it. Lived up to expectation. What did you think about your team? Going home, going home. Tell the world they're going home.
I see England going home makes you pretty happy.
Ecstatic.
But yeah, England, there's so much to dissect and talk about this game. First off, I'm going to start on the positive
Don't
in
tell me
terms
you're
of...
going to start off with the referee.
No, I'm saying positive. Congratulations to France. They came up victorious. Hats off to them. They played well. They were the better team, in my opinion. A lot of persons saying that England was a better team, but here's why I'll say France was the better team.
Okay.
It took the early lead, and at no point throughout the game was like chasing the game versus what England had to do. So even though at times when it was 1-1 and England was dominating that midfield and attacking, but France didn't necessarily have to push, because there was a point in time when prior to that goal that Giroud scored, it was mainly just England, and then they had the opportunity. Pickford came up big, and just right, unfortunately, the ball came off Harry Maguire's shoulders after Giroud headed it and scored on them, and then it was basically
best player for England this competition so far.
And trust me, it was rather, well, they had a lot. I'll say Saka, because even in that game, Saka was the best player for England. He was. And then, let me say, while it is not the reason for England loss or lose that game, but the referee, the officiating was horrible. It was one of the worst, some blatant calls. And I don't understand. If VAR didn't exist, it's like England probably would have been out of the game, because the penalties, even the call with Harry Kane at the edge of the box, that was so close. It seemed like a foul. The why VAR couldn't intervene, because if it was even a free kick,
no, they can't call back a free kick. Yeah, it had to be a penalty.
It was a foul though,
yeah.
And the ref didn't even see the foul.
Absolutely.
You understand? So that's what I'm saying. It was like he was officiating against England. They felt pretty rough.
Probably he thought it was American football.
I don't know. I'm saying even that pushing the back from Mount, I don't see how he couldn't see that was a blatant foul. Unfortunately, Harry Kane missing that penalty, and I can do understand. You know, your teammate, your club mate, you would have do a lot of shots against him. You score one again. Now it's the mind game time. Which way will you go? You think you're gonna go back the same way? I would think if I was a keeper, he's going the next way, because he just went that way. But then he tried to do too much, skied it. We don't know what would have happened even if it scored that in penalties. But England didn't play bad. They gave it their all. It was, as I said, the game lived up to the expectation. It was a big hype game. They kept out Mbappe, as I would have said, who was the danger man. It was basically null and void. So I said England did, they did what they could do, but France was just a better team. The underrated striker, finding that goal. I just every time you
open your mouth and say Giroud is a bug, all I hear next, Giroud. Giroud. That's all I hear next every time you say that. Man is a bug. Okay.
But yeah.
What I'll say about that game, I'll disagree with you on you saying that France was the better team. I think England played the better football. But as I always said to you, only one stat line matters in football, and that is the score line, which obviously France had the better one, which is 2-1. But everything else, England was pretty much better at than France. Right across the board, England had better stats outside of the score line. They managed to close down Mbappe. They managed to unleash their guys, Kane, Saka, Foden. All these guys were in good areas, got good chances, but just could not score. As is, not to blame the referee, as I said, but it was blatant. It was very obvious that some calls that you think would have went the way for England did not went their way. And yeah, if Kane had put that penalty in the back of the net, who know what would have happened? Nobody know. Then in the dying moments, we had Marcus Rashford coming very close with that free kick. So there was plenty of opportunities for England to really turn the game around, but at the end of the day, France was more clinical, got their chances, took them, and that is what made the difference in the game. Because overall, England was dominating that game. England was the better team in an overall aspect, but France had more goals, and that's what counts. But yeah, it's a great feeling though to see that England has left the competition. You know, yeah.
I wonder why.
Because a lot of people were celebrating when Brazil left. So
because they were hype, England was humble. So
you're right. It's a good feeling to see they're right behind us.
Yeah, looking for company.